It's the evening of November 3rd. Ever since about 10 o'clock this morning, it's been raining, at times pretty heavy. So I'm sitting in the structure today, it's still raining. It looks like in the next hour, sometime roughly an hour before dark, the rain looks like it should let up, if not stop. If that's the case, I would assume there'd be probably some deer that come out into the plot tonight. If that's not the case, might see something, might see nothing, we'll see. I'm not feeling too optimistic about tonight, but it's just nice to get out. Hunting over the Field of Dreams plot here. Got corn, brassicas, and soybeans out there. The soybeans did so-so, so I ended up broadcasting the whole plot in the brassicas, and they filled in really nicely, especially when the beans started to drop their leaves. It just looks like a solid brassica plot out there, but there's beans and pods mixed amongst all that green out there, and then the corn here and the corn screening walls. Another little brassica plot that goes that way a little bit. Unfortunately, there's maybe only one buck out here that I would consider shooting, and I'm even on the fence about shooting him. But if I don't shoot him, he will probably end up getting shot. But it just would be nice to see that deer make it just one more year. And the one deer that I'm waiting to show up hasn't shown up yet. I don't know if he's even alive anymore. He should be. He made it through this season last year, and he started showing up last year around, it was like late October, and he hasn't shown up yet this year. So I'm starting to get a little bit worried, but we'll see what comes out. Hopefully I can get some footage for you. And hopefully I don't spook too many does getting out of here tonight. So we'll see. Last year I had most of this field in the corn. I had the rows kind of running diagonally, and I had a little triangle of brassicas up here. I had a fence post with a camera like somewhere in a little bit from that opening, and I was surprised how many like daylight cruising bucks were just walking through this field. It's only an acre field, and they were just cutting back and forth like morning hours, midday, and obviously by far the most pictures were in the evening, this being a food plot. And then I have a camera down there at the point last year, and same thing, I had so many bucks going back and forth down there along the brassica trail. I had a brassica trail like this going all the way down last year as well. So this being a food plot, it's more of a later season, gun season setup with the blind. It's not really the highest odds rut spot, but you never know. Basically anything on the other side of that corn, if it's walking right on the edge of the corn, I should be able to shoot at it. It's about 35-40 yards right to the edge of the corn. Obviously the far side of the field's too far. That's about like 60 to 70, so we'll see. More than likely, I won't see a ton of does in the food plot tonight, which is good. They're probably being harassed by these bucks non-stop. So I should hopefully be able to get out of here relatively clean, because if something's in the field, more than likely a buck's gonna find it and run it off like that. Those does just came out literally minutes before. They were just feeding in the neighbor's pig bean field. That buck just followed them out. I don't think I got the does on camera, but there was two doe and a fawn probably. person, the one I just filmed. He's 4.5, maybe 3.5. That's a buck. I thought that was a doe. I wasn't even paying attention to him. Well, I got out of there just in the nick of time. You seen that doe working in right at the end there, literally right after I shut off the camera. Threw the camera in the backpack, loaded up my stuff, and just got out of there like literally within seconds after shutting off the camera. I could tell she was slowly working her way this way. And I don't think I bumped her. When I was climbing down the ladder, I seen her standing there, and then she just slowly walked behind some trees. I got out of there relatively clean. I got the last, so far this year, I've been using my bike to bike down all of our trails. I can just get in and out, especially with a headlamp in the dark. I can just bike right past the deer at 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's not an e-bike, but an e-bike would be nice. And it just started raining, now a little harder. It was perfect. The weather was right on. It literally stopped for about a half hour right at prime time. And
I'm not sure if those deer would have got up if it stayed raining. It might have made just a difference, but I mean, that doe was in that field and coming our way, so those bucks were just naturally going to follow her. Who knows, that rain might have did it, might have got those two bucks up on their feet, but I would assume that there's a lot of chasing and going on back in them fields, because the cameras are only getting, like, basically the one buck, the one bigger buck, he only walked by one of my cameras in the field right there. So I'm sure when I do check those cameras, it'll look like, oh, look at, here's a big buck, here's a little buck, and you won't have any idea what was actually going on. So sitting out there and observing everything, I mean, you could set up 20 cameras and you still, I mean, if you had them on video mode, maybe you'd understand what's going on, but literally sitting out there and seeing every move with your eyes is so much more important than, just going off the cameras.